Even after knowing all the concepts of a topic, we still find problems when solving questions related to that particular topic. And though we have learned everything about trigonometry in our previous videos, but when it comes to solving questions, it still becomes a problem. So this video is all about solving problems. And if you want to learn how to do them, just come along. Let's go. Hey guys, this is Vikas Sharma welcoming you on behalf of Exponent to Success to yet another video of ours. Exponent to Success is an initiative that helps to add an exponent to your learning curve. If you're new here or if you're landing on our channel pages for the first time today, I would strongly recommend that you subscribe to our channel right now so that you do not miss out on any future content from us. And do not forget to click on the bell notification also so that whenever any new content is uploaded, it comes right into your inbox. In the previous videos, we've learned about the very basics of trigonometry, how it started, when it started, what is it used for, how to find the different ratios, and we have even learned about the square identities and the cofunction identities, which are nothing but trigonometry related to complementary angles. And we have even learned the trigonometric table where we find the ratios of some special angles. And if you have happened to miss all those videos, the link is right there on the top right corner of the screen. Just click on that link and you'll be taken to the playlist of trigonometry of our videos. So like I said, even after knowing all the concepts related to trigonometry, when it comes to problem solving, it still creates problems within us, and how to solve those problems, it really doesn't come to our mind unless we see some problems being solved. So this video is only about solving problems, and we have got lots of problems in front of you, and we are going to try and solve them one by one. And this is going to be a quick fire session or a rapid fire session where we take one problem, solve it, move on to the next, take the next, solve it, move on to the next, and so on, so that in a 20 minutes time frame we are able to solve as many problems as we can. So taking you to the first problem, this is all about that we are given the angle and we have given one side of the triangle. All of them are right triangles, and we need to find one side of the triangle which is marked x. So that's why the question says that for each question, find the length of the side that is marked x. Now, first of all, remember that all trigonometric problems can be solved using the mnemonic Sohcahtoa, which I'm sure you remember, that sine of an angle is opposite over hypotenuse, cos is adjacent over hypotenuse, and tan is opposite over adjacent. So first, let us look at this angle. The side opposite to the right angle is the hypotenuse. So we have got the hypotenuse here. The side next to the angle given is the adjacent, and the side that is opposite to the angle given, that is called the opposite side. So we have so here the hypotenuse is given and we have to find the opposite. So obviously we'll use the sine of a function. So we know that sine of 30 is going to be opposite over adjacent. So opposite is x over 12. So sine of 30 we know is 1 over 2. That should be equal to x over 12, or multiplying 12 to both sides we get x is equal to 1 over 2 multiplied by 12. 2 goes into 12 6 times, so that is 6 centimeters. Coming to this, the side opposite to the right angle is the hypotenuse, the side next to the angle given is the adjacent, and the side opposite to the angle given is the opposite. So here we are given the adjacent side and we need to find the opposite, which is marked x. So obviously the opposite and adjacent are there, so we'll use the function toa or tan. So we'll say that tan of 72 is going to be opposite over adjacent, or x over 15. Or we can say that let's calculate what is tan of 72. So I've got the calculator here, so I type in 72 and I click on tan. So tan of 72 is going to be 3.08. Let's round that off. So that means x over 15 is going to be equal to 3.08, or x is equal to multiplying 3.08 with 15 or by 15, it gives us 46.2. So that means x is equal to 46.2 centimeters. Now here the side opposite to the right angle is the hypotenuse, the side next to the angle given is the adjacent. So we are given the adjacent and the hypotenuse. So obviously we are going to use cos for that. So cos of 36 is going to be adjacent over hypotenuse. Adjacent is x, hypotenuse is 8. So that means x cos 36. Let us find the value of that. So we type in 36, we click on cos, and we get cos of 36 is 0.81. Rounding it off, so 0.81 is equal to x over 8, or we can say multiplying both sides by x, we can by 8, we can say that x is equal to 0.81 into 8. That gives us 6.48, or we can say 6.5 centimeters. And in the last one, the side opposite to the right angle is the hypotenuse. The side next to the angle given is the adjacent, and the side opposite to the angle given is the opposite. So here we know the adjacent, we need to find out the opposite. So obviously opposite and adjacent, we need to use tan for that. So we can say that tan 17 should be equal to opposite over adjacent. So opposite is x over 22, which is the adjacent. Tan of 17, we need to find that. So 17 tan, that gives us 0.31 after rounding it off. So 0.31 is equal to x over 22, or we can say that x is equal to, by multiplying both sides by 22, we get 0.31 into 22. So 0.31 times 22 gives us 6.82. So this is going to be equal to 6.82 centimeters. Coming to the next one, here we've got some triangles. Again, all of them are right angle triangles. We have to choose one of the ratios to calculate the value of x to the nearest whole number. Now we have to round it off to the whole number. So x is here in this. The side opposite to the right angle is hypotenuse. The side opposite to the angle given is opposite. So we need to find out. Let's write Sohcahtoa here. So we have opposite and hypotenuse. So obviously we are going to use sine for that. So sine x is going to be opposite, which is 8, and hypotenuse is 17. That means sine x is equal to 8 over 17. Let's bring out our calculator. So 8 divided by 17, that gives us 0.470. So 0.470. And now when we need to find out the angle, so we have to do sine inverse of both sides. So when we do a sine inverse, the sine of x, that becomes only x to get the angle, and this becomes sine inverse, which is written as sine to the power minus 1 of 0.470. Now this does not mean that this is 1 over sine. This only means that this is the inverse of sine. So we need to find the inverse of sine, which is there in the calculator also. So this is the value that we had. We press this shift key on the calculator and we get the inverse function. So we've got the sine inverse, which gives us 28.07. So rounding off to the nearest whole number, that gives us 28 degrees. Now here x is this. So the side opposite to the right angle is hypotenuse. The side next to the angle is adjacent. So adjacent over hypotenuse is cos. So we say that cos of x is going to be 55 over 60, or cos x is going to be equal to 55 over 60. So 55 divided by 60, that gives us 0.91 67, so 0.917, I'll say. And then we need to take out the cos inverse of both sides. So that will give us x of, that will give us the value of x, which will be equal to cos inverse of this. So cos inverse of this is 23.55. So rounding off to the nearest whole number, that gives us 24 degrees. Now in this angle, the hypotenuse is not given. The angle is here, so the side opposite to that is opposite. The side next to the angle is adjacent. So adjacent and opposite, that relation comes to tan. So we say tan of x is going to be opposite over adjacent, or 10 over 30. Or we can say that tan x will be equal to 10 over 30. Let's bring out our calculator. So 10 divided by 30, that gives us 0.33. Then we need to take out the tan inverse of that to get the value of x. So let me write this 0.333. Therefore, x will be tan inverse of this. So tan inverse of this, I just click on tan inverse and I get 18.43. So to the nearest whole number, it's going to be 18 degrees. Now again, here we have got the adjacent side and we've got the hypotenuse. So adjacent and hypotenuse, we need to use cos. So we say that cos of x is equal to adjacent over hypotenuse, so 27 over 42, or 27 over 42 will give us 0.643. So we say that cos of x is equal to 0.643, and then we find out the cos inverse of that, and cos inverse of that is going to be 49.99, or we can say that x is equal to 50 degrees. Here we are given the hypotenuse, which is the side opposite to the right angle, and the opposite to the angle given x. So opposite and hypotenuse, that gives us sine. So sine of x is going to be opposite, which is 9 over the hypotenuse, which is 15. So we can say that sine of x will be equal to 9 over 15. So 9 divided by 15, that's going to be 0.6. And therefore x will be sine inverse of 0.6. So I just click on sine inverse and I get 36.86, or I can say that x is equal to 37 degrees. Now here we are given the hypotenuse is not given. We have the adjacent and we have the opposite. So again, adjacent and opposite, we are going to use tan. So tan of x is going to be opposite over adjacent, or 23 over 55. That gives us tan x equal to 23 divided by 55. That's going to be 4181818. So I'm just going to take 0.418. That means the value of x will be the tan inverse of this number. So I again come to our calculator, take the number, click on tan inverse, I get 22.69, or we can say that x is equal to 23 degrees. Now we come to the next problem that we have. We are given that if 7 tan theta is equal to 24, find the value of sine theta plus cos theta. So if 7 tan theta, so let me start here, that if 7 tan theta is equal to 24, that means dividing both sides by 7, we get that tan theta is equal to 24 over 7. Now tan theta is also opposite over adjacent. That means opposite side is 24 and 7 is the adjacent side. So I just take a right angle triangle, which is right angle here. I take any angle as theta, and opposite is going to be this side, which is 24, and adjacent to that is this side, which is 7. So using the Pythagoras theorem, now I need to find out this side, because sine theta, again we will need to know the hypotenuse for that. So using the Pythagoras theorem, I get that let's call the side x. So this will be x square will be equal to 24 square plus 7 square. That means x square will be equal to that means x square is going to be 24 square is gives me 576, plus 7 square gives me 49. So x square is equal to 576 plus 49 gives me 625. Then taking square root of both sides, we get x is equal to square root of 625, which is going to be plus or minus of 25. But since the hypotenuse is the length, it cannot be negative, so it's going to be 25. Now we know the hypotenuse also, we know the adjacent also, we know the opposite also. So we need to find out the value of sine theta plus cos theta. Now sine theta will be again Sohcahtoa. So sine is going to be the opposite over hypotenuse. cos is going to be adjacent over hypotenuse. I just plug in the values for each of these. So opposite is 24, hypotenuse is 25, plus adjacent is 7, and hypotenuse is again 25. So that gives me 24 plus 7, 31 over 25. Or I can simplify it and 31 over 25, that gives us 1.24. So that means sine theta plus cos theta is equal to 1 point, sorry, not 25, it's 24. Therefore sine theta plus cos theta will be 1.24. So that's my answer. Okay, and then we come to the next question, which is that prove that cos square theta is equal to 1 plus 1 over 1 plus cot square theta. That should be equal to 1. Now, if you remember the square identities, we'll remember that 1 plus cot square theta was equal to cosec square theta. So that's one of the square identities. So I'm just going to substitute this value of 1 plus cot square theta into this. So I get LHS. I start with the left hand side, which is LHS. So LHS is equal to cos square theta plus 1 over 1 plus cot square theta we found out as cosec square theta. So I just write cosec square theta here. And according to the reciprocal identities, we know that cosec square theta is equal to 1 over sine square theta. Or we can say that sine square theta will be equal to 1 over cosec square theta. Now cosec square theta is 1 over cosec square theta is going to become sine theta. So that gives me cos square theta plus sine square theta. And then we have a square identity for that also, that cos square theta plus sine square theta is going to be 1. And RHS also we know that it is equal to 1. And we can say hence proved. So let's look at some word problems also. So we've got this word problem that the angle of elevation at the top of a hill at the foot of a tower is 60 degrees, and the angle of elevation of top of the tower from the foot of the hill is 30 degrees. If the tower is 50 meters high, what is the height of the hill? Now first we need to understand the question. So we've got a hill and we've got a tower. Now one thing is going to be taller than the other, we don't know yet. The angle of elevation of the top of a hill at the foot of a tower. So if let's say this is going to be the tower and this is going to be the hill, so this doesn't look to be 60 degrees. So let me take this as the hill and this as the tower. So angle of elevation from the foot of the hill is, sorry, foot of a tower is 60 degrees to the top of a hill. So top of the hill to the, so top of the hill to the foot of the tower, that's going to be 60 degrees. So that's going to be 60 degrees. So I can mark it here that this is 60 degrees. And it says that the angle of elevation of the top of the tower, right, that means from here, from the foot of the hill, so that means this to this is going to be 30 degrees. If the tower is 50 meters high, so the tower is 50 meters high, we need to find the height of the hill, which let us say is x. Now to find out the height of the hill, what do we have? We have the mnemonic Sohcahtoa. Now there are two ways of going about it. Either we can find out the distance from uh, here to here, which is going to be the hypotenuse of the larger triangle, or we can find out the distance from here to here, which is going to be the base of the larger triangle. So let us try and find the distance between this and this. So if we look at this smaller triangle of the tower, we have the angle given here is 30. So we have the side opposite to that. So opposite is 50, and we need to find this. So this is going to be the adjacent. So we need the tan of 30 for that. So we are just going to say that tan 30 is going to be equal to the opposite over the adjacent. So let's call that A only for the time being. So tan 30, we know what is it. So we just said 30 and not tan inverse but tan. So tan of 30 is going to be 0.5773. So 0.5773 will be equal to 50 over A, or simplifying that I can say that A should be equal to 50 over 0.5773. So that means 50 divided by 0.5773. Sorry, that's too many sevens. So I say 50 divided by 0.5773, that should be equal to 86.61. So we know that the distance between the hill and the tower is 86.61. So we can write that here, 86.61. Now we look at the larger triangle. So we have the angle given here, which is 60 degrees. The side adjacent to that is this, and the side opposite that is this. So opposite and adjacent, again we'll use tan. So we can say that tan 60 is going to be opposite, which is x, over adjacent, which is 86.61, or we can say that x should be equal to tan 60. Let's find that out. Tan 60 is 1.732. So 1.732 times, so we multiply both sides by 86.61. So times 86.61, and if we multiply this by 86.61, we get that it is 150. So it was 50 meters, so this is going to be 150 meters. So hence we can write, therefore the height of the hill is equal to 150 meters. Let's move on to the last problem of the day. We've got another word problem. Now the thing with word problems is that we need to read the question very carefully, understand what the question means, draw a diagram, and then think of what concept we can use to find the unknown. So let us read the question properly. The length of a string between a kite and a point on the roof of the building 10-meter high is 180 meters. If the string makes an angle theta with the level ground such that tan theta is equal to 4 over 3, how high is the kite from the ground? Now to draw the figure, let's say we've got a building. So the building is obviously 10 meters high, and there's a point on the roof. So let's say that point is here. From there a kite is flying, which is 180 meters high. So obviously the diagram can't be to scale. So let's say this is 180 meters. Sorry, not this. So let's say that this is 180 meters, since that is the length of the string. So the roof of the building, which is 10 meters high from the ground, the length of the string between a kite and the point on the roof is 180 meters. So this is 180. If the string makes an angle theta with the level ground, so with the level ground it's going to be here. So we can extend this. So that means this angle is theta, and if this angle is theta, then obviously this angle is also theta. And we need to find out tan theta is 4 over 3, that we'll use later. How high is the kite from the ground? So we need to find basically this distance from the kite to the ground, how high it is. Let us call that x. So this we know is, we've got a right triangle here, we've got a right triangle here. So this is, we know, is 10 meters. So let's say the distance between this point and this, let's call that x. So we have got the angle theta here, we've got the side opposite to that which we need to find out, and we've got the side next to that which is the adjacent. So adjacent is going to be 180 meters. So what we have is, in the relationship, we need to find out the hypotenuse and the adjacent. So obviously we are going to use cos for that, because according to Sohcahtoa, cos is equal to adjacent over hypotenuse. So we can say that cos theta will be equal to adjacent over hypotenuse. So adjacent is going to be 180. Hypotenuse, we need to find out x, but we don't know what cos theta is. We don't know the angle of elevation. So for that, we are going to use what is given, that tan theta is equal to 4 over 3. That gives us a value of 4 over 3. Let's bring up the calculator, though I already know it. It's going to be 1.3333. So it's tan theta is 1.3333, and now theta therefore will be tan inverse of that. So coming back to our calculator, I click on the shift key and then tan inverse. So I get 53 degrees. Excuse me, 53 degrees, and or let me take it the decimal only, 53.13 degrees. So that means now coming back to this, we know that cos of the same angle, which is 53.313, so cos of 53.13 should be equal to 180 over x, or we can say that x will be equal to 180 over cos of 53.13, sorry, that will be equal to 180 over we need to find out the cos of this. So I unclick on the shift key, I get cos, click on cos, and I get 0.6. So that means this is going to be 180 over 0.6. I can just remove the decimal, multiply by 10. This goes into 180 30 times. So that's going to be 300. That means the height from here to here is going to be 300, and we add another 10 as the height of the building. So we can say that therefore height of the kite from the ground is equal to 300 plus 10 equals to 310 meters. So that's our solution. So in this video, we learned about how to solve various problems related to trigonometry. So in case you come across any one of these problems or similar type of problems, you can just solve it this way. This video is all about solving problems. And so that brings us to an end of the video. I hope you enjoyed the video thoroughly and you learned something useful out of it. In case you did, I would like to hear all about it. So just head down to the comment section below and leave in your comments for me. In case you are facing any problems with any of your questions, or in case you want me to cover any specific topic, just mention that in the comment section too, and I'll surely get back to you with a video. I would surely recommend that you hit on the like button below and share the video link with your friends so that they also learn something useful out of it. And in case you haven't subscribed to our channel as yet, this is the right time to do so. You see a subscribe button right in the center of the screen. Just click on that and you'll be subscribed to our channel straight away. And do not forget to click on the bell notification also, so that any future content is delivered right into your inbox. As a part of your continued learning, you can click on these videos shown on the left side here. Please like and share the video. Take care. God bless.